Hello everybody, it's Adam. Welcome to the Southend Guide Paranormal channel. I'm going to try and keep this vlog brief because I do have a tendency to waffle, but I hope you enjoyed last week's, even if it wasn't a Thursday. But we were out on location with Stella, so it's always good. We do appear to work well together, shall we say. And yeah, it was nice to be out on location, even if it was bitterly cold. That site that we went to, obviously the footage will be up. Not just yet. When everything kicks off again in February, you'll be able to see the results of that when it turns up. But what I will say is we will be going back to that place on the anniversary of the crash. Hopefully we can bring a bit more through, because we did get stuff, and the weather should be a bit better because it was really cold last week. But at least we didn't get the rain, and the wind was obviously buggered off, so that was good. Yeah, so that being that, now I did hope to get out some fleet footage, because I had last week off. I was having some funny games with the other Saab, my 9.3. Hopefully rectified now. It was causing a bit of issue, but hopefully it was sorted, so I can now move forward and get the other bits done with that. But yeah, as I said, I was hoping to get the bit of fleet news out. What skew whiffed it was the fact that on Saturday I actually went up to London to film a rally called Truth Be Told. Now, I haven't been to any protester rallies for quite a while as it goes. Well, I had, but I don't think I'd filmed the last couple. So yeah, this is the first one I filmed in probably it's got to be over a year now, I think. But I felt this one was important because we're at a point now where pretty much everyone that's going to be jabbed has been jabbed. Those that haven't will never be jabbed. You know, that's where we're at. So all we can do is wait. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of people that did have the jabs that then woke up and didn't have any boosters. The Truth Be Told rally was about something a bit more heartbreaking. It was to do with people that had taken a jab and suffered as a consequence. Either through the adverse reactions that have absolutely destroyed their lives, or those that didn't live to see another day. And it was a very different occasion to the previous protest that I'd been to. Obviously, whilst people were there to, you know, try and raise energies and that, you know, it was just the very nature of what we saw and what the people were talking about was, as I said, it really tugs on you, and it was very difficult to edit because I then had to watch back again what I saw firsthand on the Saturday. And I need to just say quickly that a lot of the reason I covered those initial protests and this one is because looking at the media with your eyes open, you realise that they treat you like mushrooms. The mainstream media. By that, treating you like mushrooms, what does I mean is they keep you in the dark and they feed you crap. Do you know what I mean? They want you to believe a certain narrative, to make you perceive things in a certain way, and what they want to tell you and what the truth is are very far apart. The truth can go hangers if it doesn't meet what they want to get across to you. Just trying to put it politely, I think. So part of the reason, obviously, you know, my channel is devoted to other things, but as you know, I have covered these bits and pieces in the past, and there's other channels like mine that do this because the media will not touch them. They do not want you to know that these rallies and these protests go on. Now, the thing is, at a base level, you can think this is all tinfoil hat hogwash, what's going on. That's fine, you know. We've all got our own opinions and our own values and what we feel is the truth, etc. You know, that's great. That's what makes us different, because at the end of the day, everything needs to, sometimes everything needs to be questioned, and you draw your own conclusion. But you should be able to hear both sides of everything. If someone's trying to shut down one side, which is what's been happening, then you have to ask why. If one side wants to deplatform and make sure you don't hear certain things, you need to ask why. So that's why channels like mine have recorded these events, because if we didn't, you'd have no idea. There's many people out there who have no idea they've gone on. And I've spoken to many of people when at the previous protests, and you know, I said, oh, I was at Trafalgar Square in London, I was at Hyde Park, or wherever. This went on, there was 10,000 people, there was 100,000 people, there was 500,000, and so on. I said, was it any of it covered on the news? And they're like, no. And I'm like, really? So you had no idea what's going on? So then I said, well, I can show you that it happened because I was there, and there is my footage of it all. You know, and there's plenty of people like myself that will do exactly the same thing. So we can get the message out and say, look, whatever you believe is fine, but you need to know you're not being told the full story. So how can you make an informed decision on things if you're not being told the full fact? Yeah, that's a story for another day, and for probably other channels. But you know what I mean. So it's up to people like us to put that out there and show you, look, this is what's gone on. Now, it's not like the media haven't covered massive protests, because they have done. You know, many a year ago, they covered the protests against the Iraq War. I think back then they still kind of told the truth about things, you know, or they were still interested in reporting the news, as it were, not putting out opinions and make it as news. So back then, I suppose that was still quite, you know, still reasonably, they could still reasonably be trusted, I suppose, to be able to report that. And then obviously after that, you know, if we move forward to Brexit, for example, now 17.4 million voted to leave the EU. I was one of them. I campaigned for it. I love Europe. It's an amazing place. I've been through many European countries and met some amazing people. But do I want to be did I want to be governed by people I've got no control over? That was what it boiled down to, essentially. To which I was like, no, I didn't want that. So, you know, I got involved with that, got a campaign to come out, you know, and in the end we did. Or you know, one of the biggest acts of democracy showed that. So then, you know, shortly after, the Ramonas, who couldn't take losing, hit the streets. And of course the press covered it, because the press were full of Europhiles. So it was like, look at all this, do you know what I mean? Same with the BLM protests, look at all this, it's in their interests. The moment something comes up that they don't agree with, as I said, like the protests that have happened against the vaccine passes, and the, you know, when they was trying to mandate it to every man, woman and child and so on. When all those happened, and hundreds of thousands, and I think one of them might have had up to 1 million people marched, the press did not want to know. Or if they did, they massively underreported it. Just saying, oh, a few thousand nut jobs turned up at Parliament Square. And then they'll find, you know, one of the extreme nutters in the group, because you get extreme nutters in any rally or protest group. You've only, you know, if you look hard enough, that's going to happen. But it's, when they report it, they try and give you the perception that, oh, there's only a few people that went, you know, and they're all like this nut job here, when they couldn't, be further from the truth, and we can prove that because people like myself were there and we filmed it. Plenty of ordinary people who just had the temerity to question what was going on and did not like it, so they stood up and to be accounted for it. So just what I mean is all perception. So yeah, these protests haven't gone away, these rallies haven't gone away. The main shift here was towards the people that were injured or worse, and now they're being ostracised, you know, because the government said we'd look after you if something went wrong, blah blah blah, X, Y, Z, and they utterly gaslit those people who then got injured. And you know, the government, and let's not forget that the big farmers got an indemnity from prosecution should their drugs hurt anybody. Stepped back and went, nothing to do with us. It's disgusting, all of it. Yeah, and I cannot tell you how hard it was to go back and edit everything that I'd already watched, because it was hard to be there and watch that and not get emotional. You know, the lady that you know, brought it all to the stage, as it were. Poor girl, she was, yeah, she found it hard to get through it, or any of it, without having a tear or two. It was, yeah, as it was. But as I say, you're going to be able to watch it for yourself. Though also I'm not getting monetized for it because there's music in now. I don't often say, but if anyone does wish to support my channel, I've got PayPal and Patreon links on my main page of my channel. So if you want to stick a couple of quid in there, obviously like what I do, especially with this one, share it, make sure as many people get to see what's going on as possible. So you know, because there's a few people that are probably like, oh, you know, oh, it hasn't happened to me, or anyone near to me, we're all right, Jack, screw, you know, anyone else, sort of thing. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh, I don't know. But you know what I mean? Just to say, look, this is going on, this is happening, and you should be aware of that and maybe make notes. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it there. As I say, that's going to be the footage. It's going to come up probably shortly after this video, or probably about the time this gets processed, because, yeah, it could take a while. Yeah, and as I said, hopefully I'll get a bit of fleet news out this week as well. I'm going to hopefully get 5 minutes to go out and do a bit more recording this week. I'm looking at a couple of places in Malden, all around the Malden area. Possibly over to Langdon, if I can get a couple of people involved with that one as well, for the Kevin Whittaker, because I need to close that. Thanks so much for watching. Now, I know I said it before, but especially after what you're going to see today, God bless you all. Love and light, and just keep those vibrations high, and you know, don't get sucked in by what the media tell you. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much. Bye bye.